Last time we jumped into a brand new image record, and rather than associating it with an existing work record, we created a new work and we were going to catalog those two blank slates alongside one another from scratch. Now, rather than do that for the purposes of demonstration, let's go back to View Orders and find an order that already has some cataloged images so we can take a look at what a cataloging record might look like. And this will help us to better demonstrate some of the features of the cataloging interface. So here's a good example of an image that is one particular image view of a broader work concept. That is the Palace of Alexander at Jericho. We can see down here at the bottom of the work record that this work has 5 child images, one of which is the one we see on the right here, this particular image. Now, there's almost no information in the image record because everything we have to say about this particular image is represented by the information that's already stored in the work record, the general concept for the entire work record. And we can see when we click here that there are 5 total images that depend on this specific work record. We can click on any of these links and go directly to those image records. We can click on these thumbnails in order to preview the images, or we can use these little tick boxes to select a different preferred image for this work record. Now, what the preferred image is simply the most representative image that we have in the database currently for this work record, because image records are one and the same as an actual physical image. Work records are simply conceptual constructs that we use to store a hierarchy of cataloging information, but they need an image associated with them so that we can see them visually in some form. So we simply select the most representative of the available image records, one that will be the preferred image for this work record. So we have one chosen, we could change it there. This is the overview of the information. By clicking here on Edit the Catalog, we can change any of this information. We can have up to 10 different titles, agents, dates, any of the data types for each work and image record. So we can add rows here and take them away. We can also clear the last row by clicking on the trash can, and it will simply reset all of these fields to their default values. For all of the fields where you see a purple or orange box, this is an authority search indicator. So each of these fields has the ability to be searched against a massive authority controlled vocabulary list that's supplied by the Getty Research Institute. We can show an example of that by going to work types. Another work type, it doesn't have to be appropriate for this work, but we can say a garden, for instance, since we were interested in that as a book title. We can see that we have returned 61 results from the Getty Art and Architecture Thesaurus. The first one is gardens, and if we were to click on this term, it would simply put it into this field and also store the currently invisible Getty Authority ID number for this term and put that in a hidden field also associated with this row, so that when we save this information to the database, not only do we have the term as it was entered directly from the authority, but also its ID number so that we can find it later, find non-preferred spellings and also foreign language spellings for that term when we export our data. And these small gray numbers beneath simply show us how many times catalogers in the past have selected this term. So it's a sort of popularity rating that allows catalogers to more quickly find the term that they're likely to want. So even though the most popular term might not be the lowest alphabetically, and so it wouldn't normally show up at the top of the list, if it is a popular term that's been selected by lots of catalogers in the past, it will show up at the top of the list, making it a little easier to find it quickly and select it. So by clicking on that, it places it directly into the field. We get a purple indicator rather than the orange one that is telling us you have not yet performed an authority search for this field, so you should do so if you plan to enter something here. Now, several of the field types have authority search capability. Some of them don't. Some of the more notable ones we'll go over in the next video, where we look at location specifically in more detail. But when the cataloger is happy with the work and image records, the way that they have been cataloged, they can click on Save Changes, confirm, and it will immediately give you some feedback that you have successfully made those changes to the database. It'll update all of the data types associated with both records. You also have the option here to remove the work association. You can break the link between this work and image record so that you could have the opportunity to catalog a fresh work record for this image if you thought that someone in the past had made a mistake and mistakenly associated these two records, and they shouldn't be. You have that option as well.